What's up, YouTube? We're a couple of cunts. We're in the countryside. We're talking about Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, is in the cinema, so we thought we'd take this opportunity to talk about the world's greatest detective. I'm not talking about Batman, I'm talking about Sherlock Holmes. He came before Batman and was probably better.
Yeah, he didn't wander around all the time talking in a stupidly deep voice, just like, Batman.
No, probably not. He didn't go up to Moriarty and go, "Where is he?" Which is a good thing, because you know he was a bit more cerebral than that, a bit more subtle. Or you know, in the original stories, he is a sort of flamboyant bisexual in the new films. Yeah, ably played by Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know. I reckon Sherlock Holmes would have been like a really funny guy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was a barrel of laughs with his opium addiction and his
well, you know,
his ways.
Heroin addicts are always quite funny. You know, you look at them, they've got no arms because they're just like sticks walking around needing skag. It's
yeah. Have you ever seen the film Requiem for a Dream?
No.
No, you should go and watch that and then reassess your viewpoint on heroin addicts as genius comedy. I've not seen A Game of Shadows yet. I'm hoping to very, very soon.
I've only literally just seen the first one, actually.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I did, actually, a lot more than I was expecting. Robert Downey Jr. does pull off quite a convincing British accent, it must be said.
No, yeah, he's better than the old Dick Van Dyke, core blind, cockney flower. I'm not sure that Downey probably played the role as Arthur Conan Doyle envisioned it.
No, but it is a lot updated. I mean, you look at it.
There's far more explosions, I think, than the original stories.
You've had to reimagine things. It's a bit steampunk, which is in. At the start of the first film, he's running around doing a bit of parkour, which I wasn't aware was quite so popular back then.
It's called Bartitsu. There's less of the Matrix shit from the film. It was more like, if you're on a bicycle and there's a ruffian in front of you, leap off your bike and twat him with it.
That's quite good.
It's the best defence when you're in the Victorian age, I suppose.
There is quite a lot of shit you see them doing, and you just look at it and think, it's really good, but they wouldn't have like done that back then. They'd have been a bit more...
Fisticuffs. What?
Exactly.
Duchess of Queensberry rules.
Exactly. Watson, I think, is played very well by Jude Law.
Yeah. This probably isn't the thing to admit on a public video on the internet, but did you think there was something strangely attractive about Jude Law with the Watson moustache?
Jude Law's a good-looking guy.
If you had to go gay, you'd happily go gay for Jude Law.
I don't know. I need to think about that.
You would though, wouldn't you? If someone held a gun to your head and said you had to gay off with someone, you wouldn't cry if Jude Law was presented to you. If someone said, "I'm going to shoot you," or "You've got to fuck Jude Law," you'd probably go, "Jude, let's get it on." Especially if he had the tash, I'm guessing.
Some of your more interesting thoughts about men, particularly Jude Law.
Well, you know, Holmes and Watson were the original bromance.
They were quite bromantic, you know, actually. I do like them.
Never mind Chandler and Joey or any of those guys from the Judd Apatow films. You know, they had a bit of homoerotic tension. They looked out for each other, sort of, you know, hetero life mates.
I've had mixed reviews, generally positive, but a little bit on the mixed side about the newest film.
The one thing I will say is I'm pretty disappointed with the casting of Moriarty, to be honest.
Who is it?
It's Jared Harris, who's essentially a ginger rapist midget. I mean, when they first announced Game of Shadows and that Moriarty was going to be the villain, there were all these rumours going around. Daniel Day-Lewis, his name was bandied about. Liam Neeson, Gary Oldman, all fucking amazing actors.
I don't think you could have had Gary Oldman in it because, you know, Gary Oldman and Robert Downey Jr. playing off. I think certain women would just explode. And some guys.
God damn, no, seriously, that would have got the Mondo box office. But any of those actors, particularly D. Day-Lewis, he would have fucking slain that role because you know what he's like. He would have been living Moriarty.
He would have been. He is method as fuck.
No,
he would have been living on the streets of London for weeks to get that right.
He would have been stalking around the streets of London with a pistol in his sleeve, shooting bitches. Say what you will about A Game of Shadows, the one thing you can guarantee is that there's plenty of eye candy for the men. Even discounting Jude Law, Rachel McAdams is back, and you've got Numira Pace, well known, playing Lisbeth Salander in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the remake of which is also in cinemas now, in Sherlock Holmes, and she's playing, you know, a gypsy, and she's got like all the jewellery and the fancy costume, and she's like throwing knives and shit, and you know, that gets it done for me, so yeah, well. Bitches love Sherlock Holmes, especially now he's played by Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah, he does have the massive appeal, and I like him from Iron Man because Tony Stark was a dick. And Robert Downey Jr. nails that perfectly. He's got, and it's why he's the role model of mine, he's just a complete cunt. And I think that's why everyone likes him so much, because it's like, I'm a dick, I recognise the fact I'm a dick, fuck the rest of you.
That's pretty much your attitude, isn't it?
Almost entirely. I can do the facial hair, and I can do the cuntishness. I'm just lacking the bitches in the suit. So I've got 2 out of 4.
You have slept with some unbelievably hot women. It's something I'll never understand. Then you've got someone like Josh Hahn, who managed to
Brody Dahl.
fucking nail Brody Dahl. He's a ginger fucknut.
I love the guy. Jim Root somehow
I will kill him.
Somehow manages to nail Christina Scabier.
Yeah, to be fair though, even I've kissed Christina Scabier, so... Russell Brand.
Serious. This is my point with like British guys being complete dicks. They get amazing women. Katy Perry. Just look at it, and this Russell Brand who's just like, oh, I'm a lanky tit. See, it's quite nice now in this episode we've moved on from your Jude Law man crush to actually talking about women.
Yeah, see, I do like women as well.
Yeah. I believe we're supposed to be talking about Sherlock Holmes. Arthur Conan Doyle. Do you know what his other name was? Ignatius.
Well, that was like his middle name.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a cool name.
That's probably like my second favourite name, like other than like Ulysses. It's like that's what you name your kids, so you know no one's going to pick them at school. It's like, what's your name? My name is Ulysses. Now fuck off.
No, my plan is to name my firstborn Batman. Because picture the scene, they're in a classroom and the teacher's reading the register, you know, Daniel, here, Sarah, here, Vicky, here, Batman, here. That kid's going to be the fucking coolest kid in school. You don't fuck with a kid named Batman. And, you know, just me speaking personally, Batman Forbes, that's quite the ring to it. Arthur Conan Doyle also wrote The Lost World. Not to be confused with the sequel to Jurassic Park, but it was about, you know, dinosaurs living on an island. I think what he should have done, as some authors do, is done a crossover.
That would have been kind of...
Sherlock Holmes in The Lost World. Fucking Sherlock Holmes beating up dinosaurs. Can you think of anything more bitching than that?
Even better than that, having dinosaurs appear in Victorian England, and they have to get Sherlock Holmes how to figure out how to get rid of them. So he's running around like the Houses of Parliament, like being chased by velociraptors and shit. Fucking Michael Bay could CGI the shit out of that.
Are you aware of Asylum films? The basic gist of it is they look at blockbusters that are coming out and they make films that are practically identically titled. It's basically to fool mums at Christmas into buying the wrong DVD for their kids. Like, so
that's a dick move.
It's a dick move. They're a bunch of dicks. So say for instance, when Transformers came out, the Asylum released a film called Transmorphers, which is basically, it's a low budget thing. The CGI is about 98% less impressive than the real film. There's like 25% more tits. They also did like Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. And those sort of things.
Yeah. It started off with Mega Shark and Giant Octopus, or whichever one came first. Like, great. Now we've got like fucking Mega Toadstool versus slightly pissed off traffic warden. It's just got to the point where they're just pulling titles out of the air, sticking shitty CGI on, and finding some cheap page 3 girl who's out of work running around. It's like,
You do realise if the Asylum are watching this, they've probably stolen your idea.
Okay, slightly angry Frenchman on a bike versus pack of rabid dogs. There we go.
Watch that.
We've got a film.
That sounds quite entertaining, actually. I'd watch that. Back when the first Sherlock Holmes films came out, they released something called Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, right? Which was basically steampunk Holmes and Watson running around Victorian London, fighting fucking dragons and giant octopuses
that would have
and
been
shit.
Cool. They'll go, right, Sherlock Holmes versus pissed off ancient Polynesians with guns for some reason. Right, okay, we'll do that. We'll write a story around it. We'll find some tits. We'll knock some shitty CGI up overnight. Fuck it, there we go.
That's probably the exact process, except for the part about writing something.
It's more just like, right, okay, we need you to run through here and make up some dialogue as if you're being chased by something. So it's sort of like, oh, fuck! If Asylum want to, you know, have me down to audition for any roles, I think there we go. I can be the balding scientist who tells everyone the world's going to end, no one believes me, and then I run through and get eaten by a velociraptor halfway through.
It's
because
the
I'm
role
distracted
you were
by
born
tits
for.
or something like that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of tits, I kind of find it funny when you see knockoff versions of proper films, but they're just done to put a comedic like porn behind, sort of like Flesh Gordon.
There are some really unimaginative ones, like Women in Black and The Erotic Witch Project. That's pretty unimaginative.
Women in Black, I'm guessing they don't stay in said black for long.
I was really disappointed actually, because like back when we were at school, shaving Ryan's privates was a big thing. We were at that age where anything remotely sexual just sent us into bits of giggles. But And so I went through school basically thinking, Shaving Ryan's Privates, it's a porn film. And only recently I found out that's a gay porno.
Oh wow,
and
good thing we didn't see it.
No, my illusions were shattered. I was just like, I imagined Ryan, because Ryan can be a girl's name. You know, I thought, oh, you know, she'll probably be getting DP'd, TP'd, there'll be lesbians, someone will be eating her ass while
Someone
she's
will have a
sucking
flute in the
someone's
background.
dick. Yeah, well, probably there'll be some sort of sleazy Indian man, I'm guessing. And I thought, yeah, I had this whole idea of, like, I pictured her in the camo, probably an unnecessarily small camouflage bikini in a bullet belt. They're going through a camp, fucking the men, fucking the women, fucking the men and the women at the same time.
A lot of imagination here.
Yeah, well, this is what I thought about when I was a teenager. Seeing as we wore Santa hats for the last week's episode, maybe we should have slapped on deerstalkers and been smoking pipes for this episode.
This is true. I don't
Too
have
late
either.
now.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can do sort of a Star Wars thing in years to come. We could get someone to CGI this shit in. We'll have like an AT-AT walking there. We'll have like Medusa over there. We'll like have Rachel McAdams and some other nice bints like walking in here.
I'm liking the sounds of that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably be dead by then, and our corpses will be raided by, I don't know, like MGM or Disney or Asylum Pictures or whoever you said about earlier. They'll be redoing this. But edit all out the bits where it's just like, yeah, you basically made films out of going random word versus random word. Ah!
Look for a couple of Cunts in the Countryside remastered coming in 2034. Well, we've been a couple of Cunts in the Countryside, and if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, favourite and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And if you didn't enjoy it, maybe you should go back and try and deduce a bit more from it. Feel free to suggest a topic for us to talk about in a future episode. See you next time.
Quick public broadcast for Asylum Films. If you're going to make a film about two British guys fighting, don't make it about us. But include a lot of tits.